And on top of that, disciplining them, harnessing their gifts and talent, and bring them up in such a way that they could blossom. If you plant a flower or a tree or a fruit tree, and if it doesn't blossom or if it doesn't bear fruit, then there is some problem. Is it because of the topographical? Or is it because of the soil? Or is it because of the environment in which it was sown or planted? There are lots of questions. But simple thing one should know is, how do we groom them? How do we dream them and let them grow in such a way that they will blossom and then outshine? Then, providing faith. Each family, each culture, each ethnic has their own faith inclination. Even among the Christianity, we have different denominations and sectarian groups prevalent. Everybody assumes that their faith, their religion, their church is the best. But let us not be over smart in calling ourselves that we are the best. What about theirs? They also are a good one. With much confidence, they have developed and been brought up. And therefore, let us respect one another. But in that, our caution is put, we should not compromise. The truth, everlasting truth, cannot be compromised. Eternal truth should be retained and demonstrated to the people around, so that, yes, they should also be convicted. In the near future, who knows, we may adhere to the best that they are thinking. Even as those boundaries and thinking are prevalent, let me come back to my topic. What a parent ought to know and should be doing. 1 Timothy 5:8 says, a parent should be a good provider, to educate, to give them good health, to care for them, to nurture them, and to provide their faith. Parents should be a good provider. Let me tell you, a good provider doesn't mean just giving a good, sumptuous lunch and dinner. No. A good provider is in compressed manner, what I have said: education, caring, help, disciplining, providing things. All those things you should be able to provide. And if you don't have, how will you provide? That is a big question. If you are not stable in the truth, how will you impart to your offspring? And therefore, parents need to be more aware of and more cautious of. They should be more religious. They should be more devout in what they are. Then only you will be in a position to tell your children. How can you provide which you don't have? You should be a good provider. You should have. Not only the food I'm asking, but every essential elements that I have mentioned in the introduction. Education, caring, unless you know how to care, unless you are able to care, unless you are able to discipline, unless you are disciplined, how can you impart the discipline to your children? You should be disciplined first. In the kind of all the livelihood. And therefore, my dear brothers and sisters, a good provider should all the parents come forward and then gear up to provide the best to your children. Of course, some may understand that the provider means giving bread and wine. But provider comprises of everything that I have mentioned. And therefore, you should provide on top of that spiritual nurture. Bible is very Ephesians 6:4. Parents, don't let your children get annoyed or angered, but bring them up in such a way that they should respect the word and they should respect you. By disciplining doesn't mean you should crush them. You nurture in such a way that they grow and groom into a good nature and live a very meaningful life in the near future. Now, spiritually and in their educational, caring, in every life sphere, he needs to grow. Let me give you, taking you to the psychological point of view. That is the biblical perspective. Going to the educational psychology and psychological point of view, let me tell you, a child, if you want to discipline, because Proverbs is very, not only Proverbs, even in the New Testament, unless you maintain the law, you cannot discipline. And therefore, Proverbs says, if you love, you should discipline. You should correct them. If you love them, you correct them. And in Old Testament, the best education we can get is the wisdom from the Proverbs and Ecclesiastes. He says, and according to the advanced educational psychology, it says, discipline the child with the rod. It doesn't mean that you are beating them you are slashing them to pieces. You are giving a stick, a slash, so that they will feel the pain, and that pain will not go from them, and then you will not continue in the same wrong. In other words, when they do wrong, you slash them so that that slashing whips away the evilness that is within them. In the Hebrew language, the foolishness, if you are with me, Proverbs 22:15. If you turn to the Proverbs 22:15, it says, fully is bound, okay, in the heart of a child. Also, the psychology will aptly say that when a child is born, all his mind is an empty vessel. And psychological terminology we use is tabula rasa. Nothing is there. It's just empty. But in the Hebrew, Proverbs, it says, fully is there in the mind. And that is to be tamed, corrected, and bring them up in the proper shape. You imagine some children, if we tell them to do this and that, no, I will do this, and you will make excuse by crying, hey, Mama is not allowing, Mommy is not allowing. Okay? Those are some of the lame excuses they demonstrate to you. And that evilness, Hebrew, it says, evelet. Fully, or evelet is abound in the minds of the child. And that evelet means foolishness. They think that they are right, but that is foolishness. That foolishness is embedded in them when they were born. So emptiness, tabula rasa, is a kind of foolishness prevalent in them. And that has to be carefully alienated from their lifestyle. And correcting is the best way. That is why Old Testament, every now and then, tells us, if you love discipline with your rod. Did you read it? In the same passage that I have said, foolishness is up in the hearts of every child. But the rod of discipline will drive it far away. I tell you, this is very true. But there's a stage when you should do it. If I correct with the whip to Aliba, I'm in the wrong time. But the best time to discipline a child is when we are in the early stage. And the psychological age is before the 8 years. Before the age of 8, you should do that. Correcting, whipping, and slashing for your wrong. So that you will understand the wrongness very seriously. But if you skip 8 years, and if you try to correct them when they are 10, 11, it is long gone. It will be difficult. They will revolt against you. Therefore, before they are 8, whip away. Why Psalm 23 says, your rod and staff comforted me. What does it mean? There is a rod. There is a staff that comforts me. That is Psalm 23. Therefore, that rod is very essential. That comfort. One is to strike against the evil, to defend the lion and the tiger or any wild wolves that comes. Another is to correct me, the rod and the staff. Therefore, a child can be corrected of his folly by the rod. Never remove the rod from your house during the early stage of your growing. Proverbs 13:24 also says, sparing a rod from the sun. If you spare the rod from your son, then you are spoiling him. But using a rod, correct him and bring him up in the proper manner. You may notice as a good father, as a mother and father, if you ask some of your children to come and do the, you will make all kinds of excuses and then you will even cry. But that's an excuse. I had a good Christian educationist during my school days, and she said, you see, Ben, in America, when a child grows, they will just fall down sometimes just to get your attention. And you will cry. What will you do? Then I say, as a naga, my mom will talk, yeah, did this hurt you? And did this hurt you? That spoils the child. Then I say, how will you do? We usually do, oh, did you fall down? Come on, stand up. Stand up, you can stand up. You can do it. Come. Stand up. The child will say, come, you can, you are strong enough. Give them encouragement. Bring them up in such a way that you can stand on your own. But if you hug them and we're spoiling them. But I didn't realize. Then I said, how will we know the love that we care for them? That is different again. In every step that you do, you will understand your love by your gesture, by your life. You don't have to show that you love them just because they fell down and then you lift them up. That is a rubbishness. That's a silliness. And therefore, there are different factors of educating a child and bringing up a child. And in all that we reflect God's goodness, chastening in love is what the truth we impart to the children. Like in the Old Testament characters, let me take it. Take for example, between the Joseph and Isaac, there was partiality. And therefore, there was evil forces in between. Isaac and Joseph. One tried to snatch away another's gifts, all because of parental partiality. We should try to shy away from that kind of a favoritism. Furthermore, if we take the example of Eli, a high priest, and his children, because of their evilness, lots of downfall took place in the kingdom of God during their reign. Like that, there are many examples. Let me tell you, to cut short, bring them up in the fear of the Lord and let them emulate your personality into their lifestyle. Then, whatever obstacle, whatever situation you face, you will say, Papa, Mama. Your lifestyle example is more important. And may the Lord bless our members to equip and to grow into that. Because I cannot give you within 10-30 minutes all the necessity. But briefly, Christ-centeredness of life and Christ-centeredness of parenting is what the call of today is all about. And there are lots of gadgets which will spoil them. We should be careful what and how we induct them and educate them. Let's pray.